Welcome back. Week 1's in the books, and for the first time, I feel excited.
Exactly that. An exciting time of the year. Exciting over here. Manchester United fan, Manchester City fan, if you don't know. This is week 1 of the Premier League. We're talking about it. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I guess we could kick it off with the start of the whole Premier League.
Best and brightest first is the best. You always go first. You show your brightest. You do everything that you can to get the most eyes. Game 1 of the season, and what do you do other than put the best team in the league and the biggest team in the league
against Manchester
first.
United?
So, first game, Friday. Everyone's ready to kick off the season, and United face Fulham, first game of the year, and I couldn't be more pleased with the result, honestly.
A 1-0, but 3 points is 3 points.
Performance over points. I'm sorry, that's blasphemy.
Totally
I should not have, not what I meant to say. Performance is a very important part of the result, and we deserve that result. I mean, a lot of people actually played different roles to what we've seen them play in previous seasons, and we saw a little bit of in preseason. Like, we saw Bruno and Mount, both of them starting. You wouldn't think both of them are going to start in the same game unless Manu doesn't play. But we saw a really intricate team that has the false nine of Bruno and Mount really switching in and out well, doing new ideas, new, possession tactics in terms of the formation. I mean, we've got now what looks to be like a 3-2-5 kind of deal going on, where you've got your striker who at the beginning, Mason Mount and Bruno swapping is dropping in and really connecting, and then we saw later on, spoiler alert, Xerxes, we saw him doing that. And so it's really interesting to see the way that we've kind of shaped from the preseason and from last season.
Fulham had their chances. They had opportunities. I love to see Anthony Robinson always playing well. I thought he had an all right game. Fulham, they did all right. At Old Trafford, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's always going to be tough going away. First game of the season away at Old Trafford. Not everybody's favorite thing to say that they have to do. Fulham are there, had their opportunities. United, though, overall, watching it, it looked like they needed a killer. They needed somebody to put the ball in the back of the net. Far too many times I see Bruno Fernandes missing. I'm going to critique here. Trevin's going to give props, but I'm going to critique as I should. Bruno, way too many chances missed. He's two really solid, possibly three chances. Bruno needs to be putting those away.
Rashford with one.
Rashford, huge chance. Okay, critiquing Rashford from last year, going again into this year. It's different, though. We see him in better positions, actually having some opportunities. You get this opportunity. That's one I would expect him to put away. And other chances here and there for just the United team in general, they should have put away, but didn't.
We saw Ahmad doing really well. There was one that I was glad to see start, kind of surprised, just because Ten Hag, for whatever reason, at the end of last year, wasn't really thinking Ahmad was going to be involved much, but now starting this season, he's just looked so bright. I mean, he did such a great job connecting with other players, including Mazraoui, who we saw. Have to give a shout out. Really great performance. Was tough. Was tenacious. Like he was after every second ball. He was exactly what you want to see on a debut. Not taking any seconds off. He is. If we lose the ball, he's on it. Or if he's got to get back, he's getting back. Shout out Harry Maguire. Jeez, I'm just praise after praise, because this really was, like Tanner said, should have scored more. It should have really been 3-1, 4-1 kind of situation with the amount of shots that we missed and the chances that they missed. But overall, really great. Exactly what I want to see first game of the season. I was expecting them to come out with tired legs, but at the same time, they were ready. They proved me wrong, because I didn't think that they were really going to be able to flip that switch and just automatically be able to play and do everything that the managers wanted, even though they haven't for the last 2 years.
They flipped it on at the right moment, and it's the man I've been telling Trevin about not been telling him about, he already knew about him, but been telling him who needs to play.
Yeah.
Xerxes, this man, he's different gravy to Hoyland. All right, I'm a firm believer of that.
Two different type of players.
I didn't watch Bologna like that, but I saw maybe 1 or 2 games of them playing like top 4 teams in Italy and things like that. He was really good. Seen the highlights, seen those things. Special guy, special player. And you got the assistant coach for Man United there, as I've said in previous videos, helping him out. I think that's a real connection. Xerxes with the goal, he deserved it. I seen him linking up play at the moment he came on the pitch. Being able to drop down, link up play as he does. I think him and Bruno linking up is going to be insane. You can see Mason Mount was kind of in that position a little bit more.
He did okay.
It's not necessarily his position, and he did all right, so you can't fault him too much.
Did well pressing, I'll
It's
say
not
that.
his position. Xerxes, though, putting him there, I think Hoyland, when he gets healthy, he's going to find a hard time getting back into this United team. Other side of Manchester, blue side, we'll get right into that. Don't care. We get a 2-0 win, well-deserved, against the Chelsea side that is absolutely all over the place, it seems.
They are wild. You know, they've got 44. You didn't hear me wrong. 44.
I think it's 42.
42.
40-something.
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 Active players on their men's roster. You can't do that. You can't have any type of team cohesion.
Nope.
You can't have any type of bonding. And you know, obviously they're your coworkers at the end of the day. So they're not in the most intricate parts of your lives, but you do have to connect with them in order to get your job done. And that's what they haven't done. They just have people doing whatever they want, training wherever, putting on whatever kits they want. Like, it's insanity over there.
It's crazy. Not like the blue side of Manchester, though. Like the blue side of London, whatever. Okay? Man City, well-oiled machine, have been for the past years. You know what you're getting. Opening day, though, beginning of the season, really, you could just say Man City aren't always the hottest team on the trot. You know what I mean?
They're
in terms of their
relaxed.
overall standards. Yeah. So, seeing this big win at Stamford Bridge, 2-0, was huge. From the jump, the lineups, love seeing Doku and Savio. It's going to be an insane matchup from a City fan perspective to watch 2 wide wingers flying up the pitch, skillful and things like that. It's going to be insane.
I would think Doku would provide a little bit more in behind. We know he is one of the fastest players in the league. Like, we know that he is skillful and he is fast. But Savio, it just seems like he's patient and calm when he's on the ball. Yes, he does get forward and make those runs, but it seems like he's a little more comfortable with the ball at his feet when he just has to go around players or between players. And that's one thing that Doku, I don't think, has. Yes, he is skillful, but I don't think he's got that slight touch to go in and around the defenders and connect the play like that. He's more of the 1-2 and I'm gone. Savio, I think, is going to link up the play and bring it a little more into midfield, kind of like Foden. I don't think they're exactly the same, but I think they're more similar than Doku, which I think you need on the other wing.
Doku, alright game. A lot of people, I've seen a lot of mixed reviews. Some say he had a great game, some say he had a poor game. City fans, Twitter mostly. That's what I'm referencing. Right. Doku, in my opinion, I thought he had a good game. Good, not great, not bad, good game. There were moments where I wanted more from him, but the fact that he's having those moments of getting opportunities, putting himself in those situations, I love seeing that.
Yeah.
I love seeing that you're willing to mess up and go again, and keep doing it and trying new things. Skillful wise, he had a few skills around getting in between players, this and that. He's really good with the ball at his feet. But again, like Trevin made the comparison, I think Savinho is going to be that first 45 minutes.
I said Savio.
Savinho. I think it is Savio. It might be Savio. Savinho. This guy, the Brazilian man, he's a Pep Guardiola player. The skill he has, he's pacey. As Trevin said, the first 45, just watching him able to link up and patience. That's the biggest thing. Patience with the ball, moving when he needs to. passing, just the whole link-up play is much more thought and more intelligent, especially when you compare to somebody like Doku. De Bruyne in there, playing his role. Didn't have the best game, played all right, though. He had a few chances to pass off and make some shots, but really didn't.
I think he's another one of those players that just always starts the season slow, and he eventually builds and he gets into it, and then he just reminds everybody, hey, I'm like one of the best midfielders the Prem's ever seen, so, heads up.
Rodri missing, though, huge miss as always, but Kovacic filling in, not really huge miss this game apparently. I think in the longevity, I don't think Kovacic is that guy. Great game. But going off of his whole catalog, going off of what I've seen all of Kovacic last season especially, I don't think that's I would still love to have another body there.
Yeah.
Okay, Gundogan might be coming back. We'll get into that later though. Kovacic, though, really good game. Props to him for the game he had. A goal against his former club.
Just glided past the $300 million midfield that was bought to replace him. Like it was nothing, honestly.
Absolutely open those men were. It was insane to watch. Their back line of Chelsea, I can't... They're not the best defenders for what they've paid for, I'll be honest. But at the same time, these guys have no help, no support. Their midfield, these big money players, are not giving them any real defensive know-how or help. They're completely exposed. It's going to be hard for them to settle down, get into the flow of things when they're just repeatedly getting attacked because their midfield isn't really helping them at all. And you could tell it showed a lot.
It just comes back to not having any cohesion, You don't train with 44 people, 42, whatever it is. You don't train with that small or that many people and not have miscommunications and disconnects. Like, they really need to figure this out and tell some people, hey, you're not going to be here. Either we terminate the contract or we sell you or you're playing for the under 23s. Like, they have to build something in terms of their structure to get the best out of the players that they deem worthy. Because we know they buy anybody they want. They buy everybody. Yeah. But at the same time, you have to have some kind of plan and clear structure. And they just obviously don't. And Bully, you're making us Americans look like idiots because you don't know how to run a club. We would put us in charge.
I would run the club so much better than Todd Bully. I'm taking Chelsea to the fucking top with those billions. Are you kidding me? Side to fact. Facts aside. Man City, a 2-0 win. Well deserved. Foden not starting, that's a little bit something I wanted to highlight. Coming back from the Euros, you know what I mean? He's playing all the way through, so yeah, for sure. Doku, Savinho, I really like the pairing. Savinho, I think he picked up a little bit of an injury, comes out at halftime. Oscar Bob's hurt.
Oscar Bob.
He's out for 4 months. That's going to be tragic. I think we're going to see a lot of Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva on the wings, a little bit of interchanging there between those two. With those two, especially if Savinho. Hopefully Savinho, maybe it's just a pulled hammy, 2-3 weeks or whatever on the sideline, whatever it is, and then he's good to go, which would be,
best case.
Best case scenario is for sure. Best case scenario, 2-3 weeks on the sideline, then he's back into the swing of things. Because I really loved his 45 minutes. I want to see more of that. I want to see more of Erling Haaland getting on the ball, scoring goals like that. Beautiful goal from Haaland. Beautiful goal from Kovacic. Overall, though, amazing start to the season for Manchester City. Across the Premier League, Liverpool, big win for them. Ipswich, their first game in the Premier League back in who knows how long. Big game for them. A lot of people think they're going to stay up, so, you know what I mean? We'll see with that. We'll see with that for sure. Also, Arsenal win. Havertz scores.
Surprising.
They think he's the truth. I think there's a chance Tony might leave. Tony wasn't in the Brentford squad. He might go to be Arsenal. To be Arsenal. Jesus Christ. Aston Villa, 2-1 win over West Ham. Huge loss for West Ham. They do not want to be losing at home. Villa, really big win though. To win at West Ham, 2-1 first game of the season. Not an easy task by any means. Today, as of recording, just ending. Tottenham, Leicester City 1-1.
Jamie Vardy,
inevitable. The 37-year-old scores yet again. Week 1 of the Premier League. That's it right there. We gave it to you. We'll be back for week 2. You know, we come back when we want. It happens. So be here to watch.